everyone. This is now week 12 of the Kendo Talks. Sorry, I'm having a bit of audio feedback for a second. Uh, So, yes, this is the 12th week of Kendo Talks, and we have a lovely guest today, Felipe Borges, and she's from Portugal. Uh, and she's been doing Kendo for 7 years, and she'll be talking about her experiences training for the European Kendo Championships and going to the USA and training with people there.
Hi. Hi, everybody. So, my name is Filipa, as Izzy said. I've been doing Kendo for 7 years now, and my first. It's okay. Okay. And my first AKC was in 2017. So, my job is I'm a pharmacist. And in 2019, I was with a bad job and I quit my job around this time of the year. Um, Let me first tell you my Kendo history. So, 7 years ago, I started Kendo because of my Aikido teacher. His name is Henrique Martins. He's one of the managers, Kendo team, Portugal Kendo team manager right now. And I was doing Aikido with him like for some years at that point. And he was like, "Why don't you try Kendo?" And I was like, "Oh no, I don't like Kendo. It's a bunch of people hitting each other and screaming at each other." And he was like, "Oh, you should give it a try." And I was like, "Oh, practices are so late. It was 9:30 p.m. till 11 p.m. So I was like, no, it's too late for me. I'm studying." And he was like, "Okay, so if I open a kids class, will you join?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So he opened a kids class during the afternoon, and I went for my first kendo practice, and I really, really enjoyed it. And after that, I signed up and never give up again. So first, I started to do kendo and aikido, the two at the same time, actually, with the same teacher. It was Enrique, and I started in Coimbra. It's not my actual dojo. My dojo now is in here. Where am I? Is in Porto, and my first dojo was Coimbra. So first, I just want to do kendo by the fun, by like cardio exercise, and to try to uh, learn something new. But soon I realized that I wanted more. So first class of kendo, I was like, "Do this," and my body didn't respond to my brain. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so hard. Why is not my body responding what I I'm saying to it? Like, I want to do this," and my body wasn't like, "No, you're not doing it." So I I was doing kendo for the fun, like, how is this possible? Like, first time I asked Woody, I was like, "Oh my god, I will never, ever, ever be able to do this." So I stayed for the challenge. I stayed to try to learn something new. It was the first time that I was trying to say to my body to do something, and he was not responding to that. So I stayed mainly because of that. And I didn't want to compete. I just wanted to practice Kendo. So when I first went to my EQ exam, my teacher at the time said, "Okay, you are just going for the exam," but it was national teams competition, and he was like, "Oh, actually, I'm not competing today, so you will need to go on my spot." And I was like, "No, I don't want to compete. I don't want to. I don't want to. I just want to practice kendo. I just want to chill and practice." And it was like the team is with less one person, so you need to. And I was like, "Okay." So that was the first time I went to a competition, and it was really nice. I think I tied up all my fights, and I was doing kendo for like 1 year or something. And after that competition, I started competing, and that led me to in 2017 to first assign to the Portuguese team. And I made it. It was the second time that we had the ladies team, second year. So first year that Portugal went with the ladies full team was in 2017. In 2016, I think only four girls went, not a full team. And 2016 in Hungary, we went for the first time as a full team. And it was my first time doing individuals too. So this first experience was really scary. Before I went to my first fight, I was shaking all over. I couldn't even able to like do anything. I was shaking, shaking, shaking so badly, and I lost both of my individual fights. And in team fights, I think we lost it too. But I think I tied both of my matches in teams. So this was my first contact with international competitions, European Kendo competitions. So next year, 2018, was World Kendo Championships in Korea. And I went there too. I was a little bit better. My Kendo was a little bit better too. I was a little more prepared. And we fought against the Japanese team actually. And it was so nice. It was really, really nice. Of course, we lost like 2-0, like the five people lost 2-0, but we were actually competing for who would long last with the Japanese girl. So it was really fun. I totally hope you one day can fight against a Japanese team because it's really really fun. You know you will lose. So the challenge is how will you will lose and how long will you stand up there. So yeah, it was really really nice. So after this experience, I lost my two individual matches again. And next year, I was already on the Portuguese team to the 2019 AKC in Serbia. And around this time in February 2019, I was with a bad job. And I just quit my job one day to another. And there were only 3 months till the AKC. So I thought, why not go to the US, to California, to Ariga Sensei's dojo? That Ariga Sensei, I don't know if you know this, but Ariga Sensei is our coach, Portuguese team coach. So I went there for 3 months to practice with him and be more prepared to the next AKC. It was really amazing. In 15 days, I quit my job, I bought my house, and I just went to the US. So my parents were like, "Oh my God, this girl is so crazy. We totally messed up with this one. It's like no way she's doing it." So I just went, and it was really nice. I was helping at Ibogu to cover my expenses there, and I was practicing almost every day. So the first 2 weeks I was there, I can tell you I practiced every day except Sunday, and I was not even able to put my arm up and brush my hair. My arms were so sore that in the morning I was like trying to brush my hair like this, like minimum effort, because it was so painful, so painful, and it was like regular practices. So this was like a shock for me. In this first 2 weeks, I was like, I cannot do this. I want to get back. I'm going back. I'm going home. But then after that, everyone was so kind to me, and I really loved Kendo. So I stayed there, and it was the most wonderful 3 months there, and I don't regret at all. I learned so much. My Kendo improved so much, and as a person I grew up too. So I think it was a win-win. Of course, I missed home badly, but it was worth it. So if you ever have the chance to do something like it, even if it's like less time, you should do it. Just don't think about it. Just go. If you have the money, if you have the time, just go. Like meet somewhere new, some new persons, new culture, new food. The food is shitty food, like American food, right? But it was a Japanese culture, so I ate a lot of Japanese food too, like really good food, and everyone took care of me so good. I was really, really, really happy. So at this time, Ariga Sensei asked me to help at the kids class. So I started helping the kids class. Ariga Sensei Dojo, it has mainly two regular kids class. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for 2 hours, the kids practice. Mainly, it's like kids practice. It's first warm up, only the kids for 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, like suburi and joint eat up, like really fast. And then we split the classes in two groups. The first one, non-Bogu kids, and the second one, Bogu kids. And then inside the second one, with the Bogu kids, we split in the smaller ones, like by ages, not ages, but sizes mainly. Yeah, I mean, tall or bigs, like mainly three groups, like 4 years till six, maybe, then six till eight, nine, and then from that till 14. And I can tell you that I was glad I was just teaching because kids class, it's really hard. Really, really, really hard. They practice so hard. So many kakarigeiko, first, so many suburi as you put your bogu on, and so many kirikashi, so many non-stop that kids have so many energy, like you die during that class, you just died, like it's too much, but it was really fun. I learned a lot too, and I don't know if we have someone here teaching kids watching, maybe.
If there are any people who, I know there's one or two people who generally watch this who do teach kids, but we don't. In
Okay.
Scotland, there is one that has a dedicated kids bit, but actually no, there's Taisadokai and Edinburgh Kendo Club that has dedicated kids bits, or kids classes. Um, but since we have 5 actual dojos in Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have that much reach. But I think one question I would like to ask you before, what do you think about like the concept of approaching kendo as if you are a child? So like actually not pretending you're a child doing it, but like having the enthusiasm of a child whilst you're doing kendo.
Yeah, I think the kids, like Ariga Sensei has a lot of kids, like 50 kids maybe. Regular practice were like between 30, yeah, between 30 kids. And the thing that keeps them going, it's, I think, maybe some games, not games, but like during suburi, during warm up, if some dough is untied, even if in front or in the back, you just go all over suburi. Like everyone counts 10, right? Like doing haya suburi, everyone is counting 10, 10, 10, 10. If someone unties the dough, it goes around again. You do it all over again. So they kind of stay mad because they needed to do it all over again. But I think that's the kind of thing that they keeps them going. That's why they go there, because they're kind of mad, but they feel happy because it's like a game. And you say, no, do all over again. And they're like, oh no. But deep down, they are really happy to do it all over again. So I think that's it. And they talk a lot between, like, even during classes, they talk between each other, and I think that keeps them going. Or like, you're doing everything wrong, just do it again, even if between them. So as a kid, I think that's the kind of feeling that you wanna feel to keep it going. If you say just like adults class, like, just do this, do that, repeat, do this, do that, repeat, they will be like, nah, I don't want to do it. So, and at the end, sometimes you can do Jigeiko with the bigger ones, and they feel really happy. And Ariga Sensei at his dojo normally ends the practice with Shiai between them, and every month there's a championship. So the kid who wants the championship at his age range has the privilege to use the golden dough for 1 month. And if you're the champion on that month, you just write your name on the back of the dough. So I think that really keeps them going because it's a gold for them. I need to improve this month because next month I want to have the golden dough. And it's really nice. Even non-Wagu kids do this championship. We just evaluate them as like in pairs, doing kirikechi with the motodachi, like kirikechi or three mans, trikote, trido, and then we have chimpans as well. And the chimpan just give who think he got better in the exercises. So it's a small champion between the non-bogu too. That keeps them going too, to improve as well.
That's so adorable. I love that so much.
I think it's really nice, and everyone who is like trying to teach kids, this is a really nice way to keep them going and to keep them motivated. Like, Ariga Sensei's dojo have a lot of kids participating in champions, and actually in teams champions, they mainly win. And I think it's because of that. They have the basics, and every month they have a championship between them. You see other dojos that the kids just go to the first champion, they don't even know how to enter the chaijo, how to get out the chaijo, what the chimpan is doing. And that way you know that your kids will be prepared to that. Not like I need to win, but they like it and they know what they're doing. So it's really, really nice. I think it's really nice. And I learned a lot.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. And it is really important, not just for like kids, but like for all people who do kendo to kind of like understand what you're supposed to do in a shiai. Because even like at university level, there have been a couple times where I'm just like, oh no, they don't, they're doing the wrong thing. How do I tell them they're doing the wrong thing without drawing attention to it even further? But I can see that everyone else is thinking the same thing, and I'm like, no, you need to bow out before you go out the shiai. Shiai Joe, no, please bow.
Yeah, even if you say before, once you're inside, you will forget about it. So if
Yeah,
you just practice enough at your own dojo, at official competitions, you will be doing the right thing, even if you're not thinking about it. So this is really nice. Even for adults, sometimes we forget about the adults. Like the new persons that arrive at the dojo and they put their first bogu on, and then they went to like some competition and they're like, oh my god, what's this? Do I need to stay between the lines? What should I do? I think it's important to practice that at your own dojos, even if you don't have the at shiaijo. Just picture it, or maybe show a video like, when you enter you should do this, when you're getting out you should do that. Just like, yeah, you should do it. I think it's really nice.
yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
So I learned a lot in there at kids class, and I think it was really, I'm glad I did that. And before I came back, all the kids were like, oh, you're going, that's so sad, they were so sad. And they throw me a farewell party. and it was really nice. And for 2 hours, I did Keiko with all of them, all of kids and all of adults, and it was really, really nice, really, really nice. And last year, when I went back again, some kids recognized me, and it's a really nice feeling. So yeah, I'm glad I did it. And I think about the kids class is everything. I don't know if someone wants ask some questions about kids class or
There have been no questions about the kids class, but I do think like it's an
okay.
important thing to talk about because I kind of think that kids are one of the best vessels to learn through teaching as well because they're just so energetic and everything, and it's just they're
And they
very
learn so fast.
they learn so fast, yeah. And they really they are the best mirrors of your own flaws in the best way possible.
Yeah,
So they really make you reflect on your own kendo whilst you're teaching them.
yeah.
So what
So during my yeah, just say.
what would you say you've really learned from like what is the main thing that you would say you've learned from teaching kids like within your own kendo?
Okay. I would say the energy. It's the energy because they keep going even if they're so tired. They keep pushing. They keep going even if they need to throw up after. They will just do it. And I think we should learn from that. We should really learn from that because sometimes we are just tired and we're like, oh, I don't want to like, I don't like to do keiko with this person. I will just rest during this keiko. This is wrong. We should not do this ever. Even if we're really, really tired, we should keep the effort. That way we ensure that we are always learning and every person has something to teach us. Even if it's under our graduation, we should learn from anyone, even kids. Doing keiko with kids, it's really nice because sometimes you're just so like my kendo is so good. I will like totally I can kick this kid's ass so easily. And you're just going for men and suddenly your kid is like put there and you're like, oh my god, why this cannot happen and you get so frustrated. But it's really nice because kids see you in a different way, especially that kids that it's just starting kendo and they already do the proper technique, yeah, they will not think about I need to open the men to go for men. No, they will just not think about it. They will go, and mainly they will hit you and you will be like, oh my god, why this is possible. And you should roll back your kendo and think about it. And even there you're learning so much, or you should learn. If you're not learning, you should rethink your kendo and try to learn something from every person. You should learn something. I learned that from kids too, and I think that's the major thing I learned from kids class. It's the energy and never underestimate the other person, even if the gap between your grades is big. Never, never, ever. You should play Keiko the same way or with the same thought as you practice with EQ or first and second and third and you should practice with the same thought, not the same Kendo, because sometimes it's not possible. Otherwise, the other person will be like, this one is just hitting me and hitting me and hitting me, and maybe it get like, okay, I'm not doing Kendo anymore. So not the same way, but at least the same thought. You should ever like learn something from the other person. So that was the major thing that I learned from kids class.
Yeah, I could not agree more because I have seen a couple people when they're training with a kid. Not, I'm not saying names or anything, but like I've seen people kind of going quite not heavy-handed, but they're like, "Oh yeah, I can just do this and I can do this," and I'm like, have the mindset of winning, but like if you're practicing against a kid, let them have a couple hits, do some good openings, learn how to do keiko properly for different levels.
You like the first hit should always be yours, I think. Like even if it's a kid, like you should always have a really nice hit, like a proud man or a proud kote or do, whatever. You should always get the first and should be perfect. And after that, you say, okay, let's have some fun. And then, yeah, you should have some fun. Like with the kids, it's so nice. Sometimes I was just laughing so badly. And with the Tayatari, it's impossible not laugh. If the kid is like 1/3 of your height and 1/3 of your weight, of course you cannot do Tayatari, but they will go for it. Just let them have it. Why not? It's so fun. It's so nice. And yeah, at the end, just say like, really good Keiko, just improve this or improve that. One thing at a time. Because if you say everything is wrong, the kid will be like, okay, I will not do this again. Just one thing at a time, like improve this, like improve that. And yeah, they will be happy, you will be happy, you have a great time, had some fun, and yeah, it's really nice. Can I talk a little bit more of my experience? Yes. So that was kids class. And besides kids class, as I said before, I was practicing all days from Monday till Saturday and sometimes on Sundays. So on Mondays at Butokuden at Ariga Sensei's dojo, I was practicing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And the other days, I was trying to go to different dojos and practice with different senseis. And it was really nice because that way I could try to learn from different persons. Sometimes the same thing said by different teachers, you understand them in a different way. So sometimes your sensei says, you should do this, and you try, but you don't understand how. And then you go to another sensei that tells you the same in a different way. And it just pops in your head, oh, that was it. And you just learn. So they both try to say the same, but you understand better in that way or another way. So I really, really liked to go to different dojos, and I think it was really nice. And I grew up in my Kendo experience uh, by that, not learning from one sensei, but from different senseis. And on Mondays, I was practicing with actually co-worker at the time. She was working at Ibogutu, and she was a member of Korean team, like years ago. I don't remember when she was from the Korean team, but practice with a girl, a sensei girl, made all difference to me. She had some sensitive tips, like because of the weight, because of the height, that some other senseis don't have that sense to teach you, you know, like Tayatari with a bigger person or a heavier person is always hard, right? And if your sensei is bigger and in every way, he will not have the sense to tell you, so if you're smaller, you should do this way or you should do that way. No, they will just teach you how they do it. And sometimes it doesn't work for you. So if you have a teacher that is more like your weight or your height, they will be like, oh, if you're with a higher person, you should do this way. If the person is the same height as you should do that way. So they teach you how to put the kendo or to use the technique for your body. What's the best way to use that technique for your body, for your weight, for everything. You know, some people are faster, some people are slower. Even that, you should learn how to do it your way. So when you first sign in Kendo, you just copy what your sensei tells you, right? Just do this, do that, and you copy everything, every little bit you try to copy. But at some point, you should take what they're saying and adapt to you. It will not work the same way for you that works for your teacher or your sensei or your colleague. It will not work the same way because we are all different and we all need to adapt to us. So this was another thing that I learned, and I learned because I had different senseis and different teachers, and it was amazing because I improved a lot faster than just having one sensei. And sometimes I was learning on Monday something that I applied on Thursday, and then on Thursday was like, oh, this should change. I should change this. It was working on this person, now it's not working on this person. Why? And then you think about it and then go again with another person and you say, okay, this works. This way it will work to everyone. When you can do a technique in everyone, you know it's a good technique. If you just can do it like for small people, it's bad. Or only to tall people, it's bad. Just don't do it. Try another way that fits you better and to use against everyone. So that was another thing that I really, really liked about being there. And I think it was really nice to me and helped me improve faster and everything. It was amazing. And if you have the chance to practice sometimes like once a month or even in two months, you should go to another dojo. Just go practice with different people. Just try. You have that amazing kote that works with everyone at your dojo. Okay, just go to another dojo and try it in different people. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, rethink it and just try to change it and do it all over again. That's Kendo, right? You will never be perfect. You should always try to be perfect. You never will, but you just keep improving. And that's the really nice thing about Kendo, right? You just keep improving or try at least keep improving. And another thing that really helped me was oikomi classes. I don't know if you do regular oikomi, but when I was at US at Wednesdays, I was doing 1 hour oikomi with the kids, not teaching, practicing, and my kendo improved a lot. Improving my footwork improved my kendo a lot. I was a lot faster, a lot faster. Like the difference was brutal. At first time I was doing oikomi with Ariga Sensei's son, the youngest one, and he was like, "You're too slow. You can't even keep up with me." And at the end, it was almost same speed, like at footwork. It was really nice. It was a huge change. So I know everyone hates Oikomi, probably everyone dies doing Oikomi, but just keep it in your mind that it will help you a lot. It's not only about arms. Our arms, it's the easiest part. Just do Oikomi and focus on your footwork, and your kendo will improve a lot. And really, like it doesn't go like this. You do Oikomi, and your kendo goes like this. So that's the point. And arms will just keep up. It's the easiest part. It's arms. So next time you do Oikomi, just keep that in mind. It's like I'm dying, but this will be good for me. So just keep it going, and you should really do it. Yeah.
Yeah, die with a smile on your face. Mostly about Tommy. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, oikami, oikami, oikami. Yeah,
Yeah, I
not
think
too
it's like
much, but by doing it once a week was really nice. I would die. Like Wednesday were the worst day for me because of the practice. It was really hard. And after 1 hour Ikami, we're doing 2 hours Jigeko, free Jigeko. Really, really tough. Like after 1 hour Ikami, you just want to lie down and die to the rest of the world. And imagine 1 hour Ikami, and then you have 2 hours Jigeko. It's like so hard, but your body learns way faster, way faster. And after that, we went for noodles. Every Wednesday was noodles day. So yeah, so the reward was noodles. If you keep up, you can eat like really good noodles. And yeah, that was really nice.
that sounds like a lovely experience. So we have got quite a few questions that have been rolling in. Uh, Claire was asking, going back to teaching kids, how do you deal with a child who's crying? She had an experience during a shiai, the kids started crying, and the chimpanzees didn't really do anything. So she's just a bit curious of how to deal with it, slash how you may have or would deal with it.
Okay, so that will depend on the kid, right? So we had this kid who was always crying because everyone failed his protections, like they were doing cotes in the arms or even mends on your back. And of course, he was crying because it's really painful. But he was really strong. So in that case, the chimpanzee just would stop the fight and ask, "Are you okay? Should we continue?" And then he would just come out. Someone will tell him, like, "Are you okay? Can you continue?" And he was like, yeah, I can. Even if crying, he would finish the shy. So, but this isn't this specific case. So the chimpanzee stops, ask if he needs a minute. He will have that minute and then come back. So that was my experience with like really crying kids. But sometimes if the kid is like, I will cry just to stop, so then you declare the win to the other one. So it's like, okay, you're crying, but are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, but. And then start cry again. You just said, okay, if you keep crying, I will give the win to the other one. What do you want me to do? And let them choose. If he wants to continue crying, just end the fight, declare the win to the other person, and just finished. But mainly, I think most of the kids will say, okay, I will stop crying, and you just keep the shy going. I think, did I answer the question or?
Well, it's your experience and how to deal with it. I'm not sure if that's what she was wanting to. Well, obviously, I'm not sure if that's what she's wanting to hear. If she could comment saying if that's good enough clarification or if any more clarification. Yeah, she says thanks, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have another question from Peter asking, like, what's it like? Are there any big differences between different countries' kendo that you've observed?
Yes. Yes. So here in Portugal, um, sometimes we use too much strength, and sometimes Kendo gets a little bit harsh. It's like if you're man, you will use your strength, and if you're woman, you need to deal with it. And you know it's not like that. It shouldn't be like that. But sometimes people here get that impression. So if I will use my strength, she will pull back. And this is really bad. I had some really bad fights here because of that, because they were big guys and kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's bad. And you go outside, and in the other countries, majorly, the other countries don't use the strength, they just use technique. They will beat you by technique. I had another fights with people way bigger than me, like way bigger. And I was super scared of Tayatari. I was like, if I do Tayatari, I will just fly because yeah, in Portugal, that's what happens. Most of the guys will do Tayatari and push you. And then outside, I was like, Tayatari, the guy just came and just stopped, you know, no pushing. And I was like, oh, this is nice. You can do your best. You can really try for hikiwaza or really try to split. You can work with that. If the other person is just pushing, you will be like, just stop it. If you're bigger, you can use your force against it. And that's bad. That's not good kendo. So yeah, that was the major difference that I saw between countries. It was using the strength, especially in Tayatari. And then you have every sensei tells you to do men differently. I think most of them agree with kote, but the way you go for men, every sensei tells you differently. Some sensei says just go down and go for the men. Other senseis just say just go center and go for the men. And so many ways they teach men, and I think that's good because how how yeah, it's like I hear it, I only know this way. Like my sensei tells me to do this way. I only know my sensei, so I will always try to do this way because I think it's the correct way. And then another sensei tells you, why don't you try this? And you say, oh, but my sensei says it's more correct to do that way. No, every way is correct. It's like you need to discover what's best for you, what fits you better. But if you don't ever look for that, if you don't go outside your area, outside your dojo, outside your country, you will never learn. So you will be doing the same thing all over, and that's not good for you. So I think you should try to go somewhere else and just try their way. And if you go to another country or another dojo, don't you do the only thing you should do in your dojo. It's like, I do men this way. So you're going outside and you keep doing men that way. No, just if you go outside and the teacher said or the sensei said, just try this way, you should try it. Because otherwise you will not know if it fits on you or not. So you should always try. And if you go somewhere else, and I think you should really go somewhere else, just try their way. And if it's not for you, it's okay. At least you tried it. And another difference that I realized between countries was the men kendo and women kendo. So here in Portugal, we're not that many women. So our kendo it's more like the same for men and women. But soon as I started to practice outside Portugal, especially countries that I have a lot of women practicing, I realized that sometimes for women, kendo can be different. There are different ways to do things, not using your strength, not using that. And when I was in US and there were a lot of girls in the practice, normally Arigan Sensei would split us, especially during Tayatari exercises, women for one side and men to another. And you realize that it's really nice because you don't have another person that is three times you, like pushing you, yeah, or having you getting your man on your shoulder or your cote on your arm, or yeah, it's like, and even in strength or cardio, I think women and men can be different. And going outside made me realize that we can all practice good kendo in different ways. So sometimes at my dojo, I have like, I know that if I'm doing with that person, the kote will hurt more. And I'm kind of scared to do kote with that person. And that shouldn't exist. You shouldn't be afraid to do that, you should try to adapt. But if you're always at your own place, at your own dojo, practicing with the same person every time, you know, okay, he will come for kote and I will be hurt. And you will try to start to protect or avoid or dodge the kote, or to try to hit your tsuba or something. You will not learn, and the other person will not learn either. So that's bad. And you only can realize that these differences going out, practicing with another sensei, practicing with other people, practicing at another dojos. You will go to another dojo and will be like this, receiving the kote, and the other person will be like, I will not hurt you. And you will be like, really? The other person will be, yeah, my kote is like this. And you think, oh my God, this is good. I really can do this in another way. So, yeah, I think Kendo in different countries is different. And even in different dojos in the same country can be different. So, yeah, I think that is
Yeah,
the
I
answer.
couldn't agree more. And like this is the thing, any good kendo player who's male does not hit strong. Like from my experience, I've never seen somebody who's so heavy-handed and is good. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will use just strength.
Mm. They will use
Uh,
strength to be better. Cause like, oh, I have so many stories of just like the bruises. Somebody dislocated my shoulder
Oh
with
my
it.
God,
Yeah,
that's
it was
bad.
that. To be fair, I am hypermobile, but like it's still shocking. So yeah, please, if anyone's listening and thinks their kendo's quite heavy, try dialing it back and focusing on the technique a bit more, please.
Oh, just another tip. If you're breaking too many shinais, sometimes the problem is not the shinai, you should rethink your kendo, because sometimes it's because mainly because you're using your right arm. If you're using too much power on your right arm, you will break a lot of shinais. Does not make you better because you break a lot of shinais. You will spend a lot of money and probably you're doing it wrong. They will break, of course, but if it's too many, you should rethink about what you're doing. Just, yeah, think about it.
Very true, very true. So we have two more questions of come in. One's kind of long, so I'm just going to read it verbatim. I have a little bit of a wait. I have a little bit different question. Your motivation and your state of spirit is really important in kendo. How how do these experiences affect your perspective? How have your experiences affected your perspective about this? Did you learn new ways to stay motivated, stay focused, or to find strength and energy you needed to get through it?
Can you repeat the last three topics? Only the last three topics you talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
The
So,
energy.
did you learn new ways to motivate yourself, to stay focused, and new ways of finding strength and energy you needed to get through the practice?
How my experiences change that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first, I think uh, Kendo is a roller coaster. It will happen to you way too many times to say, I'm done with this. I just want to quit. It will happen a lot, and will keep happening. It was happening to me before I went there, and it's still happening to me after that. And you just need to learn a way to go around it. So, a lot of times I think everyone know this feeling. Like today's practice, I was like full speed, full power. It was so good. All jigekos were perfect. I was killing it. And then next week you go to practice and you think, oh my god, this is my kendo. I suck. It's like it's it will be this way a lot of times. It's like really a low roller coaster. You go down and up and down and up and down and up. I think if you're always in the same place, you will get you will not get motivated because you're doing the Jigeko with always the same person, so your techniques will work probably the same way they work always. I know with this person this kote will work, or I know with this person my kashido will work. But you get demotivated because all keikos are the same, you know? It's always the same thing because you know we will work, or you know we will not work. And with more experiences, with more trips, more dojos, more persons, I learned that even if you're at your own dojo, you should always try different things. So I know with this person, this thing will work. So you should always try the first ippon with that person, even if it's Jigeko. You really should try your best at your first strike. You need to be perfect. You know, with this person, this kote will work, and you start Jigeko and you score that perfect kote. Okay, and next thing you will try is I cannot do this kote until the end of Jigeko again, and that way you will search for different opportunities, and that way you will get more motivated and you will grow, you will learn, and will be way more it will be better for the other person too, because the other person knows, oh my god, this guy always scores that kote to me. It's always the same thing. He always scored that kote. I know that kote is coming. But if you change it, the other person will be like, oh, this is interesting. Let's play, let's talk. So I think all these experiences changed my way, even if to practice with my colleagues at dojo. You know, even if that person that you've been doing keiko with since you practice, you will change your keiko with that person and will be better for you and for the person too, you know. So if I stayed at my own dojo, I will get like, oh, this is so boring, it's always the same thing. And playing with different people, I realized that I can do that. I can improve, I can learn from everyone. So that way you keep motivating yourself, you know, for you have in your mind, my goal for this Jigeko is score that perfect kote that I know, and then I will try for men. My weakest point is men. So this Jigeko, I really want to strike a perfect man, and you will change the way you do things. You will motivate yourself. You will be unhappy at the end if you don't score what you tried to, but you will think what I did wrong. What was I failing? Why couldn't I do that? So that way you keep motivating yourself and you keep improving, and the other person gets another feeling too. The other person will improve too. So that was one thing I realized that get me motivated, even if to practice with the same people at my dojo every day. So this really changed my mind. So yeah, all that experience changed my motivations. And when you're home, and especially in the winter, that is really cold, and you don't want to go to the practice, you just want to stay home. And what's kept yeah, what's that thing that gets you going, you know? It's this kind of thing that gets you going. You're home and you think, I will beat that guy today. And you just grab your bogu, grab your shinai, and just go, you know? Or one thing that I realized was I don't see Arigat Sensei many times a year because, yeah, Portugal and US are really far away, right? So, one thing that I keep to me, it's like next time I practice with him, I want to do this. And that thing that I want to improve in me keeps me going. That's my motivation. So you should set your goals for yourself, not for anyone else. You don't need to show it, just keep your goals to you and say, this month, I want to learn how to do a proper man, or I want to learn how to do a proper Keshido. And at the end of the month, if you don't reach your goal, think about it. Think why? Why am I doing wrong? And reflect about it. And next practice you will be more motivated to reach your goal. So every time you do Jigeku, keep that in mind. I want to improve this. Even if the person is a pain in the ass and if you don't like to do Jigeku with them, especially that person that you don't like to do Jigeku with, push yourself harder. You say, I don't like to do Jigeku with this person. I can't do anything. Just think about your goal. And you think, today I will do this to this person. And that keeps you going. That is what moves you forward, or at least it is what keeps me going. I always have a goal or a waza that I want to learn. Like in 6 months, I want to properly do this. And every practice, every jigeko, I think about it. How can I improve my technique? How can I improve this waza? How can I get it? So this really keeps you motivated, and I think you should at least try it. If it works for you, perfect. If it doesn't work for you, just forget about it and search for another motivation. That is what keeps me going, but it's different for each person. So just search for it.
Thank you so much for that answer. I think that's a great answer. I hope the person asking the question also thinks that's a very heartfelt answer. I'd say. I don't know how to describe it. We have a couple more questions. Somebody was asking, would you do it again? Would you quit your job, move somewhere else, and just do kendo 24/7 again?
Yeah, I should. Yeah, definitely. If I had the chance, I would do it again. Yeah, no, yeah, I would do it again. I know I did this because I don't have kids, I don't have, at that time, I had already had a mortgage to pay, but I had my parents and my boyfriend that was like pushing me, I have the warm back. So I know if anything fails, I have someone to count on. And I'm not saying to everyone like just lose your head and go. No, if you lose your head and go and you just come back and you have nothing, yeah, don't do it. But you have the chance, if you have the money, if you have the time. Like I think it's way harder for a person with kids to drop everything and go. I don't have kids, but I can imagine that it's really hard, right? It's a kid. So, but if anyone has a chance, not for 3 months, just like 1 week, 2 weeks, it's enough. You will open your vision, and I think everyone should do it. Yes.
Please, just to clarify, anyone listening, do not drop your children. Children are living beings. They should not be
Yeah.
left on the floor.
And don't stay without eating to have money to travel. That's not good too.
Yes, please make sure that your basic life is met and then do kendo as
Is
well.
assured. Yes.
Don't just eat that bowl of noodles after keiko. Eat good food.
Yeah, one note to that. Uh, Kendo is amazing, but if you don't have a job or you don't have like for college kids, if you don't have parents that pays you Kendo, you will not be able to do it. So
Oh,
don't drop everything to Kendo because you still need to live. Never forget that. Like priorities. Like I quit my job because it was a really bad job and it was meant to be. The difference was quitting that job to immediately start another, or quitting that job to spend 3 times and then going back to the pharmacy. So it's not like I'm just doing Kendo with my life. It's not like that. Just have a plan or a backup, or Kendo needs a job, or at least parents that pays you gear or and Kendo classes. Yeah.
I hope that we do not have first dropouts out are just going to travel to Japan and America just to do kendo full time. But it would be fun. Okay, so on a completely different topic, you've been doing kendo for quite a while, but like not a massive amount of time. 7 years is quite a while. How have you seen in your personal like kendo bubble? How have you seen ladies kendo progress? Because you said that when you were first in the you were in one of the first all female kendo teams in. So
Hmm.
how have you seen it progress? What would you like to see happen more? And what do you think can be done or should be done to facilitate a better experience for women in kendo? If you want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can talk about that. I think there's some women's, and I had that experience. I had one dojo who had three women's practicing, and I was practicing there like when I can't, like once a month. And when I was going there, everything was fine. They loved it. I was talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, I'm so motivated now. I can do kendo again." And then when I was not there, they felt like badly because the dojo was mainly doing things, yeah, uh, rough way. So the girls, when they only had like kendogi and hakama and no bogu, was kind of okay. But soon as they put their bogu on, everything was hurting. That like, people were missing so badly. They were so bruised everywhere, and they end up quitting. And I think that's not okay. You should quit if it's really not for you. Yeah, if you feel Kendo is not for me. This is not my lifestyle. It's fine. Kendo can be for anyone, but quitting because you have too many bruises, or because it's too painful, it's not good. It shouldn't happen. And, and one thing I really would like be to see be changed is that the way that especially guys treat girls. I'm not saying to treat girls differently or doing keiko with them differently, but just don't go all brutal because you have more strength than her. Just do your regular keiko, and if you need to be beaten by a girl, just let it be. Don't be harsh on the girl because she got more better technique than you, or just don't do it. If you lose to a girl, just put on your head that you lose for a girl. Just improve so next time you can beat her. Just don't be harsh on her. Just don't do it.
Following on from that, I'm assuming you've had this experience too when you kind of not beat up a guy, but like you've shown that your kendo is better, and then instead of replying with better kendo, they reply with force. Like
Yeah.
not even like an actual hit. They don't try and hit your armor. They literally just try and hit you. But then you
So
see
I
them with other people, and they don't do that except for with the girls. So we're not saying like all guys are harsh to girls. There are just a small subset that do this specifically. Would you say?
Yeah, not all guys. Actually, I think the big majority of the guys knows how to lose to a girl. Not even just losing, even doing Jigeko. Most of them know how to separate things and knows like what they can play and what they cannot. But there are a small part of guys that are really harsh, especially in Shiai. In Jigeko, you don't feel that much, but the most traumatic Shiai that I had was a 5 minute Shiai, and I scored kote like 1 minute and a half. So I just needed to keep that kote until the end of the 5 minutes. It was so harsh, so harsh. Not because of the technique, because the person was like, I need to score. And even though if he was always missing the kote because he doesn't know how to do the kote, he was kept going to my kote. And it was kote, 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 kote all over my arm. I I won. I kept the point till the end, but soon as I left Shaijo, I was crying so badly. I was in so much pain. And the person was way bigger than me and was doing tayatari really rough, just to try to push me out the Shaijo, and kept that for the rest of the time was bad. And I hope none of the girls that I listen have this experience. I hope none of you need to deal with this, but it's bad. Yeah, and I would like this to happen. If, even girls with another girl can be like this, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's not healthy, and it should not happen. And sometimes I don't know if there's any French people here. I hope not.
No, I don't think
And if
so.
it
Are you going to
and
say something about this or not?
yeah, I think this note, this is my personal opinion. Okay, personal. I think French kendo sometimes is really harsh. It's not beautiful kendo. Sometimes it's efficient kendo, like just to score. And it's so ugly and sometimes so harsh that I don't like to play it. You look at that and you think, this is not the kendo that I want to do. And that applies to man and girl, or girl girl, man man. They do it with everyone. I had some bad experience with that too. And even with the Italian sensei, just doing jigeiko was so bad. Was 2 minutes and he was like, I'm bigger, I'm tougher, so I will just kick her. And it was 2 painful minutes. And I would really like that to end. Yeah, I would like to everything change. Yeah.
I would say for people who don't understand this situation or like haven't seen it, some men that I know who are completely oblivious to this, because they don't see it, they don't understand. We're not saying that girls are weak, not at all.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
like
no.
genuinely disproportionately women get beat up in some situations, which honestly, comparing like the way that I had like talking in small circles of like the way I got bruises and the amount of times I had things missed compared to other people in like the same situations are just disproportional. And
Mm-hmm.
then talking to other women, it's exactly the same. They're just like, huh, I think this is a bit of sexism. And
Yeah.
obviously, since there are some guys out there who just don't see it and don't talk to women in that kind of way, or like don't view it and just kind of they take a blind eye and they're like, oh no, women are complaining because they're weak. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, I'm assuming you're agreeing that
Yeah.
there is disproportionate harm done to women in some situations, which makes them kind of go off kendo. I don't really know how to battle this in real life, but
It's
it
a
happens.
sensitive question. Yeah. And I learn more when I lose. That's a point, a really important point. When you go out of the schedule and you just lost, you will think about what you did and you will learn from it. So I'm not saying I don't like to lose to guys, because I actually do. Actually, I like to win every time, but I lose a lot to guys. But if it's like that clear point, you just go for men and it's that amazing Devana Kote, and you're like, this was really nice, you know? When it's like that, you don't feel happy because you lose, but you will learn from it, and it was clean. It was a fair fight. You just try for man, and it wasn't meant to be. Like, the decote was there, the other person was thinking about it, or the other guy was thinking about it, and he deserved it. That's okay. That's okay. Just don't try to win by force, using strength. That's it.
Like
Just
that's
play clean kendo.
mm, mm. Like I've always said this. I would rather lose a good fight than win a bad fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
totally
all
agree.
across the board.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I think you can feel that with everything that they do, at least at our level or at my level. I think everything is really nice. But one thing I really tried to copy from that fight was how to split, how to go to Tayatari and come out without risking it. Sometimes I see a lot of it when people try to split and they're not ready. They will just go get a hikiwaza, henny with hikiwaza, and it's really clean. And you think about it, oh my god, I was so dumb. Why did I split like that? And when I was fighting the Japanese girl, she was splitting like carefully and always ready to strike, but always ready to split at once. During the fight, I didn't saw any chance during the split to strike. She was always so cautious, and I was like, okay, I really want to learn how to do that. Because sometimes even if your ikiwaza is really good, at some people, like certain blocks, you will not get it. You try once, you try twice, and you say, I will not get it. So just split it. But you need to learn how to split it. So when I was fighting the Japanese girl, that was my major thought. I wanted to learn how to split it. And of course, that speed, it's like brutal. I think everyone wants to be like the Japanese, like you fail, but you're already ready to go again and again and again and again until you strike it. I think most of the people don't have that thing to go, but I think it should be a goal, not thinking about failing, but learn if you fail to go for another one, because this is a good chance to strike. If you fail, the other person will be like, oh, it's a good chance to strike. And that was another thing that I wanted to learn from the Japanese girl. Yeah. The speed, it will come eventually, but how to split and how to learn to strike more than once. Yeah, that was the major thing.
Okay. Thanks so much for that. There are no more questions at the moment. Is there any closing things that you would like to kind of just say as like a little wrap up before we adieu?
Yeah, so I would like to say that I hope everyone who is watching uh, get more motivated to go back to the dojo. I hope everyone is safe and this whole thing goes quickly so we can cross swords again. And I hope one day to go to Scotland and cross swords with all of you. And I think that's it. I hope everyone is okay. Hope everyone enjoyed this little moment. And if you have any more questions, you can just forward to me. It's fine. And just keep doing kendo and motivate yourself. And that's it.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you all have a lovely week ahead. Uh, just some like kind of kendo-y news so that you can stay not motivated but like have more kendo things to do. There, there's a new like ladies kendo online magazine called the Fine Ladies Kendo Worldwide, which I really think you guys should check out because it is really fantastic. And also, I think Nine Circles at the moment are having this like little competition where you take a picture, you imitate a famous painting, but in your kendo gear and make it kendo themed. So if you want to have some like little kendo fun, that would be a cute thing to do. And for the St. Andrews humans, we are going back to our normal training schedule. So I hope to see you guys on Monday. And I really hope that everyone else listening has a lovely week. and that you all stay safe during this pandemic and stay sane. And please stay sane. Bye.